I'm tired of being my family's emotional trash can. I 31F have slowly realized over the last several years that my role in my family is not daughter, sister, or even supportive relative. My role is emotional trash can. I'm the person everyone comes to when they are overwhelmed, angry, lonely, confused, or spiraling. I'm the person who receives the long midnight phone calls, the voice notes that start with "I don't know who else to talk to," the texts that say "Can I vent real quick?" and turn into an hour-long emotional dump. I listen carefully. I respond thoughtfully. I remember details they forget they ever told me. And for a long time, I told myself that this meant I was important. That being needed was the same thing as being valued. It took me years to understand how wrong that assumption was. The imbalance didn't announce itself loudly. It crept in slowly, disguised as trust and closeness. When I was younger, my mom started confiding in me about her marriage problems. She told me I was mature for my age, that I understood her better than anyone else. I didn't question why a teenager was being asked to emotionally regulate an adult. I just stepped up. My siblings followed the same pattern. Whenever they fought with partners, struggled at work, or felt insecure, they came to me. I became the mediator, the reassurance machine, the one who could always be counted on to calm things down. Nobody asked if I had the emotional capacity. Nobody checked if I was okay afterward. It was just assumed that I would handle it, because I always had. What made it hard to see was that the relationship felt one-sided only when I needed something. If I had a bad day and tried to talk about it, the conversation quickly pivoted back to someone else's problem. If I cried, I was told how strong I was. If I expressed exhaustion, I was reminded how much others were dealing with. I learned, slowly and subconsciously, that my pain made people uncomfortable. That my job was to absorb, not to release. To be steady, not supported. I started editing myself without realizing it, minimizing my feelings so I wouldn't burden anyone the way they burdened me daily. Everything finally collapsed at once last year. I went through a brutal breakup, my job became overwhelming to the point of physical burnout, and I started dealing with health issues that left me exhausted and scared. For the first time in my life, I genuinely needed help. I reached out to the same people who had leaned on me for years. I didn't ask for solutions. I didn't ask for constant attention. I just wanted someone to listen the way I always had. What I got instead was silence, delays, or surface-level responses that felt automated. That's rough. You'll get through it. I don't really have the bandwidth right now. One person told me they were trying to protect their peace and couldn't handle negativity. I remember staring at my phone in disbelief, realizing I had been everyone's emergency contact but no one's priority. After months of feeling invisible, something in me finally snapped. Not angrily, quietly. I decided to set boundaries. Real ones. I stopped answering calls after midnight. I stopped responding immediately to emotional dumping texts. I told my mom I couldn't be her marriage therapist anymore. I told my siblings I didn't have the capacity to mediate their conflicts. I wasn't cruel. I wasn't dramatic. I was calm and honest. I said I needed space because I was struggling. I expected awkwardness. I did not expect punishment. The backlash was immediate. Suddenly I was cold. Distant. Different. My mom said I was shutting her out. My sister accused me of abandoning the family when they needed me. And aunt told me I'd become selfish. No one asked why I needed boundaries. No one asked what I was going through. The only thing that mattered was that I was no longer available on demand. It felt like my worth evaporated the moment I stopped providing emotional labor. The final blow came when a cousin accidentally sent me screenshots of a family group chat I wasn't included in. They were talking about me. Laughing about how dramatic I was being. Saying things like she thinks she's overwhelmed, but she doesn't even have kids, and guess she doesn't want to play therapist anymore. One message said I was always sensitive. Another said I'd come around once I calmed down. Not a single message expressed concern for my well-being. Not one wondered if I was okay. I stared at those screenshots for a long time, feeling something settle in my chest that I can only describe as clarity mixed with grief. That was the moment I understood the truth. They didn't miss me. They missed access to me. They missed having a place to unload without reciprocation. I wasn't loved for who I was valued for what I provided. I was a function, not a person, and when I stopped performing that function, I became inconvenient. I am still grieving that realization. It hurts to accept that people you love don't love you in the same way. That they are comfortable taking endlessly but resent you the moment you protect yourself. I've spent so much of my life being the strong one that I forgot strength doesn't mean self-erasure. It doesn't mean silence. It doesn't mean letting yourself be drained dry to keep others comfortable. I don't know what the future looks like with my family. Some relationships feel permanently altered. Others might improve with time and honesty, or they might fade. But for the first time, I'm choosing myself without apologizing for it. I'm learning that boundaries don't make me cold, they make me human. And if protecting my peace turns me into the villain in someone else's story, I'm finally okay with that.